Hello, I'm Aaron, and this is my veg patch. You're joining me on what is a very cold, very cold March morning. There was a heavy frost last night, but the sky is clear and the sun's out, so it's a great opportunity for me to get some of the jobs done that I wanted to get done. It's still very much frozen, and some of the jobs that I want to do today involve digging. So I thought I would start the video by just giving you a quick garden tour, talk through some of the jobs that I want to get done, and show you what I've been up to in the week. It's been a very wet, soggy week, which hasn't helped with this frost because now the ground's completely frozen, but I've been itching to get out here. So I'm going to utilise today. It's my day off. The sun's out. Let's get some jobs done. Right, I'm going to start by showing you around. Right, I'm going to start by giving you a quick garden tour. It's going to be a very quick garden tour. One, because a lot of what's here already is going to be changing after today. And two, it's still very early in the morning and I'm trying to be a bit quiet, just to be a bit respectful to the neighbours. It's a Sunday morning, so don't want to upset them. Right, over here we've got our sort of wildlife area. Got a few bulbs and stuff planted in there, but I'm planning when the bulbs die back to top it with cardboard, give it a bit of a mulch with some compost, and then we've got some wildflower seeds which we're going to put there, which is really going to benefit the local wildlife and hopefully get some of those pollinators in here. During the week I was quite busy. I built a new bed. I mean, the weather's been horrendous, so I did it in the rain, but I built a new bed which I got the materials which Monica's grandma gave to us, so thank you, Doris. I got those sleepers off her which I cut to size and put in there, and then I filled with compost. I did it in a quite cheap way this time. I had some bags of leaf which I also got from her, which was quite handy. Straight on top of the ground sheet, cut a hole in the ground sheet, leaving like a bit around the edge to stop the grass weeds growing up down the edges, which I've had on some of these beds, so thought I'd give it a try. I think it'll work quite well. Yeah, filled it with the leaves. I put some cardboard in, and then I put some leaves in, and then I put some of my own compost in, which has actually turned out better than I thought it would. I don't know why I'm so surprised that it turned out well, because I did quite a good mix of greens and browns, but I'll open the compost bin and just show you. It's frozen shut. Oh. Yeah, the compost has come out pretty good. There's a few bits in there that I haven't rotted down yet, but overall not bad and pretty usable, and I've still got quite a lot of it. So when I build the polytunnel and I have the beds in there, I'll put that in there, and then I'll top that with a few bits of bagged compost, but that's going to save me a lot of money. Right, I've got all these beds out here still. So this one had garlic in it, which has gone over there. This one also had garlic in it, which has gone over there. This one had purple sprouting broccoli in it and still has. It's looking a bit sorry for itself in the cold, but I'm going to have to dig it up today, so hopefully it's going to survive that. This has got some onion sets in it. Don't think I'm going to bother transplanting those because I've got onion sets in the greenhouse. So I think I'm probably just going to harvest those as spring onions. Over here, I've got some spring cabbages, which I've started to heart up, but I'm sorry, I'm going to have to dig you up. I'm going to have to dig them up today and transplant them. So I might regret that. It's going to be kind of sad that they've been there all winter and then potentially going to die today. So I'm sorry, spring cabbages. I'll just show you inside the greenhouse quickly, and then I will crack on with the jobs that I've got to do today. Oh, it's a lot warmer in here. I've got my little oil heater down there, and that's actually been keeping all my plants alive. It's 12.5 degrees in here and pretty much 0 outside. But the tomato plants have come along a long way. They've gone really vigorous now. And you know, in my last video, I was talking about the Poundland seeds. That beast at the back, the tiger striped tomato, is a Poundland variety. And, well, if you'd call it a Poundland variety, but I got the seeds from Poundland, and it's just the strongest plant. And it's already thinking about side shooting, and yeah, Poundland seeds. Who knew? These are my sort of tomato seedlings, and they're doing pretty well as well. Alpine strawberries. There's even a cucumber there, which, you know, it's not the most vigorous cucumber in the world. It's kind of sat there about the same size for about a week. So I don't think it particularly likes the cold and sort of lack of light, but it's doing okay. I did have a crystal lemon cucumber. They're like a round yellow cucumber that looks like a lemon. And it died almost immediately. So that really didn't like the weather. However, it's only early March, so I've got plenty of time to sow more cucumbers, and I've still got my melons and stuff inside the house. and my peppers. Keep them in the house. I'm not even going to risk having those out here. Even if it has kept warm, I'm just not going to risk it. I've got some onion sets. This is why I'm not so bothered about the onion. This is why I'm not so bothered about the onion bed that I've got. I'm not going to really bother with the transplant, and I don't think it's particularly worth it. Because I've got onion sets. That's one tray. I've got 2 trays of those, and I've got some onions over here. They're not the biggest, but I'm going to pot those on and see how they get on. My marigolds are starting to pick up a little bit, which I'm quite happy with. I've gone a bit heavy on the marigolds, but I've got a few people in the family that want some, and I've got some leeks, which also aren't huge at the moment, but it's still very early, and they've got plenty of time to grow. I don't know if you can see them, but I've got my peas down here, and they're already sort of 2 foot tall. And then I planted some more in there, and they've all started to come up. So I'm going to have some really early peas, which is fantastic. My little boy helped me plant those, so he's going to really enjoy picking and eating those. Got a box on the floor that's full of coffee grounds because my brother is a barista. So thank you, Oliver. Why did I call him Oliver? Ollie. I never call him Oliver. His name's Oliver, but no one calls him Oliver. Everyone calls him Ollie. So thank you, Ollie, for those coffee grounds. They're going to be a great help. They help to keep the slugs off, which I've had a lot of problem with down here because I've got the trees at the back. They all sort of live in there, and then they come out and eat everything. So hopefully the coffee grounds will help keep those off and just add a little nitrogen boost to the beds. So thank you very much, Oliver. Ollie. Right, so the plan for today, bed moving and pathway laying with ground sheet and lots of heavy lifting and all that fun stuff. I'll just show you quickly what the main plan is, and then we'll crack on with it, I guess. So the plan is, I'm still trying to be quiet because it is very early. So the plan is, let me switch you around. Those green posts there that I put in the other day are marking out where the polytunnel is going to be. So if the polytunnel is going to go there, I'm going to have to move those beds over here. So the plan is that I'll move these beds over here and change the orientation of these. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. That one there is going to come up against the fence with this one. And then I'll have a pathway running through there, and then a pathway running down there, and then the polytunnel over there. So that's the actual plan. It does mean I've got to do a lot of moving of soil and beds and upsetting plants, which I don't really want to do, but I have to because I have to move these beds so that I can get the polytunnel in. Really have to start cracking on building that, otherwise I'm going to have issues later on. So the first job's going to be to move this here, which I'm going to start now. I need to take this cover off. I've got my drill, that's screwed down to that, so I'm going to take that off. And then I have to try and lift the frame off somehow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I'm going to have to dig out all the compost and move that frame into here. So I'm going to start doing that now, and hopefully by the time I've done that, it'll thawed out a little bit. Right, I'll see you in a minute. Right, that actually wasn't too bad. I managed to get the frame off and move it over there. Oh, I'm out of breath. I need to sort my fitness out this year. But yeah, I've moved it. It's not very level, but that'll be fine when I filled it full of soil. I'm going to do the same as I did over there. I'm going to cut round inside there, cardboard, and then this one's actually probably going to be the easiest one of them all, because all I've got to do is move the soil from there to there and then top with some new soil. I've got some chard. I've got some chard over here and some spinach, which I put in here the end of last year, and it's still alive. But it's not going to be after today because I'm moving it. I don't know. Maybe I'll transplant that into the bed again. Why not? It's there, I might as well. Right, time to get digging, I suppose. I just thought I'd show you what I meant. And it's about leaving a bit of a collar around the outside. So I've cut my weed membrane out, but I've left like a strip all the way around. And that's because last year I found that where it was just cardboard on top and then the frame, the grass and the weeds would push themselves up the edge of the bed. So I'm hoping that puts a stop to that this year. Oh, it's getting nice and warm now. The sun's a bit higher in the sky, which is nice. It means it'll probably thaw out some of this. Anyway, cardboard layer next. By the way, I am no dig, but obviously because I'm moving the beds, I have to. I don't particularly want to be doing this. Lots of worms in here, so that's good. It's a really good sign. I've got some healthy soil, had some healthy soil, but you know, we can start again this year and get the no digs in place. I mean, once I've built the polytunnel and moved all the stuff around, that's it. I won't be changing it all again. So, right, I'm going to turn the camera off, and I'll be back in a minute. You don't want to listen to me puffing and panting. Whew, I'm out of shape. Right, that's done. I've completely moved the bed and filled it with soil. Been quite busy actually while I haven't been speaking to you guys. I taken all the hoops off of the beds, and I gave these plants a little bit of a trim. I'm going to trim them a bit more. I'm going to move them today anyway, so I might as well trim them when I move them. But I just wanted to have a good look at them really. This is the spring cabbages, and they're actually looking nice. It's just about starting to heart up now. So now I've took the netting off and had a good look at it more, I'm really sad about having to move them. I'm really sad about having to move them, especially purple sprouting broccoli. I don't know if you can see in there. See those little bits there? That is it starting to think about being broccoli. So it's quite sad that I'm going to have to move it. It's really starting to warm up out here now. I don't know if you can see, but on the fences over there, yeah, you can pick it up on the camera. Look at all the steam pouring off it. Yeah, it's really starting to warm up. So I was able to take my coat off, which has been nice. Okay, what am I going to do next? Well, I need to move these 4 beds, but I also want to get ground sheet down everywhere. I want ground sheet on all of the floor. So the polytunnel is going to go on top of ground sheet, and I'm going to cut holes where the stuff is, and it's just going to help the pathways, I think, and around the edges of the beds. It should suppress the weeds a bit better, or potentially stop the weeds altogether. So I think for like the longevity of the plot, I need to do that. But I think what it means is that I'm going to have to dig all of the beds out. I'm just going to pile all of the soil on top of this bed, lay out the ground sheet, and then put the beds where they need to be and go from there, really. I think unfortunately that's what it's going to have to be. Okay, I'm going to start by moving the empty bed, I think. I'll do that now, and then I'll check back in with you. Okay, so I'm back, and I've been busy. I had some help from Ruben, my little boy. He likes digging, so I think he really enjoyed being out here. But anyway, I have cleared those 2 beds there. I'm going to get some ground sheet down. The plan has changed a bit. So I did some measuring. These posts are measuring out where the polytunnel is going to go. And I realised I could have the 4 beds there, but the space isn't going to be that functional. So I think I would rather have less beds and a more functional space where I can have pots and things dotted around anyway. I'm going to be growing all my potatoes and things in pots, so it'll work out better for me to have some nice wide paths. So I've decided I'm going to get the ground sheet down, and then I'm going to have the 2 beds, one here, one there, and it's the pallet collar beds. The pallet collar beds. Can't even get my words out now. The pallet collar beds. So I'm going to layer them up so that's 2 deep, which will be good because it means when you do carrots and stuff, it's a nice deep bed for them to grow down into. So I've not really lost any space because I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5th one over there. So it's not so bad really. So now I'm going to get that ground sheet down, lay them out where I think will be best, and then get them filled. See you in another few minutes. And there it is. I think I probably made the right choice, to be honest. It's going to be much better because I'm going to have a nice wide pathway all the way around, all the way through there, around the back into the compost bins. So it'll be a nice little loop. I have had to dig my purple sprout and broccoli out. I think I got enough soil on those for them to be all right. And yeah, I think in the end, I think I did make the right choice. Got to move these collars onto those and then double fill it. Now I've started digging plants up and sort of committed to it, and I am getting a bit tired, but it is what it is. The end result will be worth it, so wish me luck. I'm going to crack on again. So I've got the first double bed filled, and I thought I would just take this point in the video to slow down and enjoy a cup of tea before I plant these purple sprouting broccoli that I've probably killed. We won't worry about that for the minute. Just be calm and relax. Just enjoy what we've done so far. This space is looking pretty big now I've cleared it out and moved the beds around. I think the double stacked bed idea is going to be a really good. Monica helped me with that. Otherwise I would have just ended up with no space, and it wouldn't have been a functional space. Although I'd have had more beds, I wouldn't have been able to get around them or anything. So thank you, Monica, for that. I appreciate it. Such a nice day. So nice to be out in it. Sorry if the video's been a bit jumpy and all over the place today. My little boy came out to play, which he should. It's his garden too. He really enjoyed digging around the mud and looking at the worms, so it's nice for him to get out here, but obviously I don't want him on camera yet. And the other thing, I wasn't really filming because the neighbours were in their garden. Obviously everyone wants to enjoy their garden this time of year, but until all the leaves come on the trees, I'm a bit open, and I don't really, I'm getting used to the filming, and it's weird talking to a camera anyway. So talking to a camera while your neighbours watch you, even weirder. Also didn't help that I twanged my back earlier. I'm okay, but I'll be 32 in May, and I'm starting to feel it. I pulled a muscle in my back and it went through to my chest, and being the hypochondriac I am, I thought I was having a heart attack. Obviously I wasn't, I just pulled a muscle. While I'm sat here and just sort of having a chat, I just want to thank everyone who commented on my last video and liked it. It did really well. Last time I looked, it was about 550 views, which is like 4 times more than most of my other videos. So thank you so much for watching those. And I hope you enjoy this one. It's not as good, I don't think, as the last video. In the last video, I was just putting some seeds in the shed. I was able to talk to you a bit more and show a bit of my personality, show a bit more of myself, and I think you enjoyed it. So thank you. I really appreciate that. Also gained quite a lot of subscribers last video. I posted on Instagram the other day saying that I'd just got to 200, and already I'm at 243, I think. So I'm nearly a quarter of the way to that 1,000, and I'm hoping to get to 1,000 by the end of this year. So if you're watching the video and you are enjoying it, please like and subscribe. It really does help me out. Thanks. Right, that's enough of the tea break. Time to get back to work and plant these purple sprouting broccolis. Let's get to it. Purple sprouting broccoli's in, and I've netted it. I also stuck the little chard that was inside that tunnel thing in there, so I get some chard as well. But I've netted it badly, but I've netted it. Keep the pigeons off in the meantime. So all that's left to do now for today is to fill this bed and move the spring cabbages, which I also might kill in the process of doing this, but got to be done. I think I'm going to benefit quite a lot from doing this in a couple of ways, actually. Thank you, Monica, for your idea. She always says I steal her ideas, and to be fair, I do, but they're good ideas, so stop having such good ideas and I wouldn't steal them. Anyway, yeah, I think it's going to be a good idea for a couple of reasons. I think it will help with the drainage down here massively, because it's the end of the garden. All the water from up there runs down. Actually, it's really going to benefit me to have the soil that much further off the ground so that the roots don't get completely saturated, because the water will have somewhere to go. It will just go straight down into the ground there, rather than like where I'm digging up this compost. This compost and this soil, it's very wet. So a lot of the plants have kind of been just sitting in this very wet soil for quite a while. So actually, I think they're going to benefit quite a lot from that. Anyway, I'm going to get digging, and I'll see you in a mo. Right, so I managed to move those beds. Got the double stack bed there, and I've transplanted my spring cabbages. They're looking a little bit sorry for themselves right now. They might perk up, they might not. Same with the purple sprouting broccoli over there. But let me just step back, because I managed to get the ground sheet on as well. Now that is a huge difference to how this looks in one day, and I'm pretty proud of it. Achieved quite a lot in one day. I even got a little harvest of leeks and spring onions. So all in all, a very productive day. And now the next big project is to get the polytunnel in here. That's why I've got the ground sheet down. The polytunnel's going to go in here. And yeah, super exciting stuff. Wish I'd documented today a bit better since I got so much done, but I got it done, and obviously filming would have slowed me down. So it was really worth it in the end. So I'll wrap things up now. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment down below if you've got any tips for me or just to have a chat, really. Take care for now. Bye.